Hello and welcome to the STB Racing League Season 17 Tier 2 Australian Grand Prix. We are back again, second night in a row, as I said, for our Tier 2 race tonight as we kickstart the first Tier 2 race since Season 9. So, yes, very excited to that. Thank you for all joining us tonight. I will be commentating alongside DJ Danny tonight. Danny, how are you?
I'm alright, thank you. Yes, looking forward to seeing the action tonight, and obviously it's going to be a bit different being in the commentary box rather than driving ourselves.
Well, maybe for you, but I've obviously had a bit of experience last season, missing the second half of Season 16, jumping in the com box with Riggsy. So yeah, glad to be here and take you along for this ride that we will have tonight. We have a big mix of drivers, mostly new. So we will run down the grid very, very briefly. We've got TSR Dangerman, who has raced in STB before. He hasn't raced for a while though, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do tonight. Emerald Simeflow, he is a new driver also, never to race in STB before. He's looking very promising for the season, so I think he'll be one to look out for, alongside FXBR Surat as well. He's looking quite quick. LCR Typhon, obviously STB veteran, raced a long time in STB. Then we've got LR Pogu and Not Yao, both new drivers as well. DSP Nivolari, also a new driver. FXBR Tavares, new driver. RCX Holes. So yeah, the majority of these drivers are very they're very similar on pace, and I think they're all ready, raring to go. Did you find any favourites going into this session, Danny? Who have you got as your favourite for the championship?
I think Matty Banter's up there, just purely in the practice sessions we've had. He's been up there and up with us, and I think he'll be a strong competitor. I think as well Typhon and all the regulars really. You're looking that the gap between Tier 1 and Tier 2 is not much, and I think it's going to be a close championship in Tier 2.
It is indeed. I think the evaluation races proved that, especially. There was a very, very close margin between the back of Tier 1 and the top of Tier 2. You've got the likes of Nagy Bots, GTT Venom, FNT Kevin. They were very, very quick in those races. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting this season to see what the order's going to be and whether people can impress and possibly make their way up to that Tier 1. Obviously, yesterday's Tier 1 race was a bit up and down for each driver, but obviously it's very hard to get a representative running until you've done probably at least 3 or 4 races.
Yeah, I think as well Australia's such a unique track that it can mix the field up a bit, and obviously with the rain we had yesterday that didn't help as well, as we have a Williams off the track in.
Yeah, is that Surat?
So that's Surat. He was off the track, and I think he's slightly compromised Matthew's lap, but not too much. But Matthew is now invalidated, so that lap will not count.
Well, we are watching Nagybot as he goes across the line. He'll be the first to set the time here as he goes for a 19.8. Not a bad banker lap from him, as Not Yao goes P2 just behind him. And it won't let me select different drivers. We're just going to have to manually scroll down. I think we had the same issue yesterday. So, yes. As we see Typhon, I think, on a lap. He's got through the chicane much better than he did last time he raced. And I think he might have backed off his lap there. But he is going to come across the lines. We'll see if he sets a representative time. It's only a 21.5, so he must have made a mistake on that lap at some point. We will mention, Danny, we've got STB Maldi in here tonight. He's definitely one that was looking forward to race. Had a bit of an opportunity.
It's been a long time for him, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. But yeah, he's raring to go in this season, and he's definitely one to watch out. I think if you can get in the relevant practice and get the time in, I think think he will be one to look out for, possibly in that top 5.
He's just starting his lap now, so I don't know if you want to ride on board.
Ride on board with him for a lap of Australia. Danny said a very unique track. It's a high downforce. Got a car just in front of him. It shouldn't put him off as he goes down into turn 3, braking hard. You've got a very awkward, twisty, low-speed section. Seems Apex is pretty well through there as we see him go through the first sector line now. 26.4, so that's not a bad first sector from him. As we have a yellow flag in sector 3, someone I think spun coming into the pits. That was AlphaTauri, actually BTX, FRA BTX.
Oh, you don't want to go on the grass there, Maudi.
Yeah, he's coming through the fast left right now. As we'll keep riding the ball with him.
Bit cautious through there.
We do have Matty Banter in the commentary box. He is here for a qualifying interview. So Matt, if you'd like to include your audio, and we'll give you a couple of questions and you can get back on this session. We were just mentioning about how your practice times were looking very, very good round here, and possibly you'll be on for at least a podium and possibly a win round here. How confident are you heading into this opening round?
Pretty confident. I've been very comfortable with my practice, so I'm hoping I can transfer that over to the real thing. So that's pretty much all it.
Now, obviously, it's the
Any
first...
insight into the weather?
Yes, go on.
For the race, have we got any wet weather or?
No, it's going to be all dry for the race, so there's going to be nothing there for the race. So it should be all dry.
I'm not gonna lie, I would have liked a bit of rain for the opening round of Tier 2, as we saw some yesterday. What are your expectations coming into this season then, Matt? Are you purely going for the championship to try and prove yourself that you are worthy for Tier 1?
For sure, I'll be trying to go for the championship, but I think a realistic target for me is just to get consistent points, maybe get a few podiums, and hopefully I can get in the top 5 of the championship at least. That's just my main target, and I'll be satisfied with that. But if I can get into like the top 2, if not even go for the championship, that'll be even better.
And very briefly, final question we'll give to you. Obviously, you said that Canada is one of your favourites on the calendar. Apart from Canada, which tracks are you most looking forward to this season?
Other tracks like Mexico, Japan maybe, possibly Britain. There's the next 3 best tracks.
You like your high speed?
High speed SX, more tracks with lots of S sections, so yeah, those sort of tracks.
Well, thank you very much, Matty, for joining us for an interview, and we wish you the best of luck for Australia.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Well, we're about midway through the session, Danny. We've got FXBR Enzo, who did set the provisional pole lap for now. He is 2 tenths clear of Nakibot. He is a reserve standing in tonight for Tier Marcata, so he's looking to prove that he should be full-time in this Tier 2.
Yeah, it's a good lap. I mean, that beat quite a few Tier 1 drivers. It did take him 2 laps to do that, so I don't know what that's done in terms of tyre wear. Obviously, starting in the dry, it's going to be critical for tyre wear because these soft tyres, they're not that durable. You're looking at about 7-8% once you've done 1 lap, in lap and out lap.
Oh, BTX has dropped it. He's dipped his outside wheels on the AstroTurf and I think a little bit on the grass. And he hit the barrier with his rear wing. Obviously the damage mod on this game usually doesn't affect that. So he has gotten away with that, but that has ruined his chances of improving. As he's got really hot tyres and he has spun again. He's managed to keep it out of the wall.
He's a lucky boy.
He is. I think he just took too much speed. Obviously he'd already been for a spin and the rears were just...
His tyres were
roasting hot.
cooking.
Yeah. He needs to make it back to the pits. See,
keep it slow, keep it slow.
That's not good for him, not a good start in the session. As he's nearly spun again, Danny. He's really struggling to get it back to the pits here.
His tyres must be in the 120s. you should just got to go slow. There's no point in trying to risk it. You've got plenty of time to get back into the pits, and it's just a risk not worth taking. I mean, he could have so easily knocked a wheel off and been out of qualifying. So he's a very lucky boy to get away with that twice.
Well, we saw, I believe, 2 drivers who had a spin in quali yesterday, and it ended their session as GGT Venom invalidates the left-right chicane. He was off-put a lot by TSR Dangerman in front, I think, so we may have something to say about that after the session. But yeah, I think Bullseye made a mistake on the left-right chicane on the curb, and I believe Billy as well very, very early on. So no drivers have been caught out by it yet in this session, but I would say that in the race it's more than likely that we're going to have a casualty there.
Yeah, it is a difficult corner as Matty starts his lap. Will that Renault get in the way? Oh, wasn't the best idea to come out of the pits like that, but yes, Matty's on a lap. He hasn't actually set a lap yet, so there's a bit of pressure here to get the lap in.
You see Nivellari going P2, so he's looking quick on this opener. But yeah, we said Matty was very confident. He has the pace, I think, to be right up there. But can he get the lap in when it counts? That's the real question.
That's the thing. I think it's more about being consistent and just making sure that you have the confidence to do the same times each lap. And I think Australia is one of those tracks that rewards consistency over outright speed, because if you can be consistently quick, not necessarily the quickest outright, but to get the consistent laps in, it can reward you. Because as we saw in Tier 1 yesterday, in the wet especially, some drivers' lap times were 1.7 seconds apart from each lap, because just due to how inconsistent the grip was. And
that's across the line now. He goes for provisional P2.
That's a good lap, and obviously he will be able to put another lap in with 5 minutes to go. I'd expect him to be able to get back to the pits and put another lap in, but P2 is a good position, and obviously he can fight from there. But all these Tier 2 times are very good. I'm very impressed with how...
It's very difficult to compare to the Tier 1 as Cineflow invalidates his lap in the first sector. But it is very, very difficult to compare to the Tier 1 race yesterday, as I think most of the grid were using wet setups. So obviously the times they've done are pretty good, I'd say. We'll have to see how they improve in the last 5 minutes of this session. See Typhon, he's got a driver in front of him on Cineflow. He's invalidated his lap and he's not getting out of the way by the looks of it, and Typhon's validated his lap because of that. So drivers really struggling to find a gap.
Cineflow has been getting away of a lot of drivers. I've noticed that on he even nearly got in the way of his own teammate STB Maldi. So I think he just needs to need to look into his mirrors a bit more. But
Tavares runs
like
wide,
Esteban Ocon in it's not a race in the pit lane, lads. But yeah, it's like Ocon at Silverstone, just not getting out of the way, and it's costing drivers time. I think, especially on Matt's lap, it's just even having a driver in front of you, it can put you off so much because you're trying to predict where they're trying to go, and it's just better if they just get out of the way completely, even if it means going on the grass. Because if they're on an out lap, it doesn't really matter.
Again, Danny Troy, I'm on board with Callum Frampton, and he had a Williams that was blocking him a little bit. Obviously nothing intentional, but they're all struggling to find a gap to get their laps in. He gets a bit of a wiggle on. He's managed to hold it. We'll see what his second sector time is, how much he's up or down. Oh, sorry, we've already gone through that. I apologise. We will ride on board with him for the rest of the lap. See if he can improve himself. Possibly try and get himself on the front row.
I think he's backed out there.
I don't think he's going to have time for another lap though. I don't think he's going to have time for him. We'll watch Nagybot now as he comes through the final sector. We'll see if he can get himself any higher. No, he's coming into the pits as well, so that's his session over. I think most drivers are just coming out the pits now. As we see, TSR Danger Man is coming through the final corner now. This is going to be his only time on the session, and it's only a 21.6, so he's going to be very disappointed with that down in P16.
Not a lot of drivers have gone out, I must say. Matt's just gone out on his outlap, but...
Well, they still have time, the ones that are in the pit now, if they just about come out now. As we see, a Racing Point's coming out. It looks like possibly Enzo.
They're not giving themselves a lot of time, though, I must say.
No, especially, as we said, with trying to find space on the track. We see an Alfa Romeo off in the first sector. I assume that will be Danger Man, who just finished his lap. I think there's been an incident, Danny. No, I'm not sure. It was Maudi involved in that. I'm not sure if they were just both slowing down
Danger
for each
Man
other.
seems to be going to...
But by the looks of it, the top 5, apart from Matti and Nivolari, will not make it for another lap. But we will go on board with BTX for the final stages of this qualifying session. He is heading into the final sector now. And he's... possibly got a very good chance, but he's got a driver in front of him, Sura, and he's had to back off. He may go for another run. He's not. He's boxing.
No.
He's in the pits. We'll watch Kevin. Kevin starts a lap. I'm not sure if any drivers are just coming up to finish their lap. But yeah, BTX is out of this qualifying session. P7, the best for him. And it looks like Kevin's backed off as well. Kevin's backed off of his lap. So we will go to Matty now. And Matty's invalidated at the first corner, Danny. So that's his session over now. That was such a
good opportunity as well.
Yeah, we'll watch behind as Nuvolari now pretty much has the best opportunity out of everybody to set this fastest lap and get on pole position. We do have a couple more drivers coming up to start a lap. I don't think they're going to make it though. There's a McLaren that's coming down the pit lane. He's not going to make it to the checkered flag. As Nuvolari's invalidated. So we look behind now as Kyle comes through the final sector. Can he improve his lap and possibly get himself into a top 5 start? He hits the braking zone in the penultimate corner now as he comes through the final corner. He's got a car just in front of him. He may slow him down a bit, but we see as he comes down the straight now, opens a DRS flap. Can he get himself up?
Are we seeing Enzo and Nagibot using the timing glitch? Because Nagibot and Enzo started a lap.
Well, the checker flag did fall briefly,
but they have now started laps. So I don't know if that's something they've taken advantage of.
Well, it seems like everybody
they're
has.
both on laps now. Yeah.
I think possibly we've got another timing glitch here, Danny. I know that was a problem last season. As we see, there is a Haas who's retired on track. That is not good at all. That is not good at all. That is Tavares. Down at turn 1 as Matty loses the rear end. It's not going to be good for his lap. We'll see if he's up in the first sector. He's got 3 attempts to gain to get himself onto pole position here, as he's a 10.5 up. So this could be the lap for him. There's only a few drivers still out on laps. We see Maudi is on a lap, I believe, as well. Nivolari's retired from the session. But I think, Maudi's retired. So I think Matty's probably got the best chance at pole position here. We see Nagibot as he comes through the final corner now. Can he improve on his time? As he comes to the timing beam now. Across the line, he does improve, but not by enough. And it looks like the only person... Oh, as Matt's gone very wide, and that is his lap over. And he cannot put himself onto pole position. We see GDT Venom. He is the final man on a lap, Danny. Can he get himself any higher than P15? As he runs very wide onto the grass. That's going to lose him time out there, but he's still going. He does not get an invalidation. So he comes through the penultimate corner now. Can he improve on P15? It's going to be very disappointing if he can't. He comes into the pits. And that will be your grid for the Australian
Does it say not yells on an outlap for you?
It does.
Is he starting that? He is.
There won't be enough time to complete it anyway, I don't think. Yeah, he is starting the lap, but I think if this is a valid lap, then there will be questions asked.
I think that it'd be questions of all of them because there was quite a few that started the laps after the flag had fell, and obviously now.
Yeah, he's got a police car in front of him, and they've made contact. I think. Yeah.
Okay, this is.
I'm not sure what happened really. Yeah, but that is your grid for the Tier 2 Australian Grand Prix, as we see FNT Kevin taking the first pole position over FXBR Enzo by the slightest of margins. Nagy Block lines up in third, and Matty Banter is in P4. He'll be disappointed not to get that final lap in. DSP Navallari starts P5 with Kyle alongside him on the third row in P6. Callum Frampton with a good qualifying in P7. He starts alongside FRA BTX. Nightingale F1 in P9. STB Maudi starting inside the top 10 for his first race. FXBR Serra and FXBR Tavares start P11 and 12 respectively. RCX Holes starts P13. MRL Signflow is going to be very, very disappointed with P14, as well as GGT Venom down in P15. LCR Typhon 16th. TSR Dangerman, LR Pogu, and didn't catch the last one. So it is a dry race, Danny. Obviously we've got Kevin starting on pole. So what are your predictions for this race?
I think it's going to be a tight between the top 4, top 5. I think any one of them can win it, or maybe even someone that starts outside the top 10 on the mediums. I'd expect, or even on the hards. I'd expect everyone outside the top 10 to be on a harder compounded tyre. I don't think it's worth starting on the
optimal tyre realistically, but it is. I think it's quite difficult to do mediums to softs. So people may be put off going on hards right at the start with the heavy fuel.
Yeah.
As you'll be like a boat.
I think
going around the first 10 laps.
Yeah, I think medium tyres are a good tyre to go on for them for the first stint. I mean, it gives you a bit of option, strategy options as well.
If they can make it last, yeah. So here we are on the grid as they start their formation lap.
Oh, there's an Alpha a bit slow off the line.
So everybody outside the top 10, apart from RCX Holes, they are all on medium tyres for this session. And obviously the top 10 have to start on those soft compound tyres that they qualified on. But Kevin looking strong, backing up what we saw in the evaluation race. I think he is probably favourite to win this race. Enzo coming in as a reserve, very, very good in P2. He'll be looking to keep with his compatriot. I think Matt's going to be very feisty off the start as well. He's going to want to get himself onto the podium for sure in this opening round. Two people have been disqualified from the formation lap already, Danny, so that is not good for them on the medium tyres. They are going to
they're going to be super cold.
They're going to really struggle off the line.
I had a practice race where I was disqualified from the formation lap on my rear tyres were on 60 degrees.
Yeah.
And at that time, you'd literally get no traction.
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to put up with in this, the first opening lap, really. It's going to take a whole lap for them to warm their tyres out. It's going to be an opportunity for those starting in the bottom 4. Possibly get a few places from the start. As you watch Kevin now coming through final 2 corners. So we've got clear skies here in Melbourne as the tier 2 drivers now make their way onto the grid for their opening round in this full season. As Kevin lines up on pole position, we'll flick back to FXBR Davi to watch him take his grid slot when he comes to it. As he lines up now in the final grid slot. It's 1 light, it's 2 lights, it's 3 lights, it's 4 lights, it's 5 lights ahead of the drivers. And it's lights out. And away we go. There's a delayed start on my end.
It's a late start from me as well.
Now the lights out.
Here we go.
There you go. And it's a great start from Enzo. He's already alongside. And it looks like Nagybot's had a fantastic start as Enzo's in the grass on the left-hand side already. As Matty's made a good start as well. And Kevin is off the track at turn 1. He's been forced off by Nagybot. It's been an awful start from him. Nagybot leads as Matty's going to go for the overtake. Down into turn 3 now. Around the outside. Can he make it
He's
stick
on the outside.
He's going to have the inside line for turn 4. Can he make it stick? They're side by side. But he doesn't. Nagybot keeps the lead. And Kevin's had an awful start down into P5. It looks rather clean at the back of the grid.
Kyle up into P3.
Yeah, Kyle with a brilliant start as well. As Nuvolari now. He's making his way up the field as well. We've got Maudi's dropped a couple of positions off the start. He's not going to be happy with that. As we see, Holes is side by side with LCR Typhon as they come through that. Oh, that's very, very tight. Typhon gives him room. As now Holes has... Oh, there's been an incident and there's front... Oh, my goodness. Cineflow is out. Massive crash here on lap 1. Typhon gave him the squeeze. And we have a safety car already at the start of this session. Cineflow is out. Holes, I think, got squeezed too much by Typhon there, and they've both paid the price.
Have they got damage? Yes,
I
would expect them to box.
Front wing.
Typhon's off into the gravel. He's on the gravel, he's got no front wing. And Maudi I expect to box as well, maybe.
As he's hit the back
no, his wings are...
Holes as well couldn't stop in the pit lane with the lack of front wing. You see 5 of the drivers coming into pit lane. As you see the predicted strategy on the bottom of your screen. But that is not a good start for a lot of these drivers. Maudi was an innocent bystander in that.
Well, luckily, for Maudi, a few people boxing has got him back up to P13. Luckily, he got no damage from that, so he did well to avoid that.
Yeah, so he's gone away with damage, and that doesn't mean he doesn't have to go on hards, obviously, which is probably the better strategy from here. So at least he is still in the race. That'll be good for him. But we saw Kevin get a very, very slow start as the lights were glitched on my end. I'm not sure if they were on yours as well.
Yeah, it didn't. It seemed like 1 or 2 moved and then they jumped back into their position. So I think
but it
just
also
a timing
looked like
glitch.
Nagybot jumped the start. Like he was that quick off the line. So I'm not sure if he just got a fantastic start.
Got a good start. The starts are a lot more varied in this game, I've noticed. So it's a lot more variation. So I think the real winners from that is Not Yell.
Yeah, Not Yell with a great start, 6 places up. Danger Man as well, and Davi, pretty much from the back of the grid, have both made their way into the fringes of the top 10. And obviously they are on the optimum strategy as well, Danny. So it's going to bode well for them at the end of the race.
Yeah, there has been a timing glitch from STB Maudi. He has got a 22-second lap time.
Yep, we love that. As Venom's been given a penalty for collision with Danger Man. I know that there is a glitch with that. I experienced that on Sunday. As Danger Man comes into
Danger
pits.
Man
No,
I
think he's lost his front wing then.
There was a... Yeah. It's
so he's obviously whacked the back of, I believe it was BTX. Yeah, they've got a front wing ready for him. And he's serving his penalty as well.
He's got a 5-second.
So that's not good for him. We were saying about how he's on the optimum strategy. He is now on a set of mediums, so they're not going to go to the end.
I guess it's just resetting his strategy. He might as well.
Yeah,
He'll
well,
rejoin
he's
the
going to
back
be
of the queue.
back at the back of the grid, so he's just got to try and
At
make his way
least
past
he-
the hard runners, and he still may be in this
Yeah.
race.
At least one thing, he'll be able to get to the back of the train and not have to make up that time.
The safety car could possibly be in this lap. We're not sure. Either this lap or the next lap. As Matty's getting very close to the back of Nagybot there.
One thing under a safety car, you got to make sure you got to keep that tyre temperature, but also make sure you're not getting in the way and potentially crashing into other drivers, because you don't want them 5-second penalties.
You can't unnecessarily speed up and slow down, so you can't slam on the throttle and keep braking. You have to keep constant speed, but it's very, very difficult as well to heat up your tyres at the same time. So
I think
it's a
the
lot
worst
easier on a
time for
wheel
stuff
with the
like
front
that is-
wheels, but
Yeah,
as we see
I think as well,
overtaking on
the worst
safety
time
car,
for
sorry,
it is...
Danny. Safety car's in this lap.
Oh, safe.
Yep, it is in the end of this lap. Very, very late call as Nagybot's really slowing down the pack here. He's nearly at a crawl on this restart. And they're all just itching to get away again. It looks like he has bolted early. So he has gone.
Oh,
Matty has a
Matty's tyres are
slide.
freezing.
Yeah, he's going to struggle to keep on the back of Nagybot. He's got a very good restart here. As we see Knockdown maybe sizing up the move on Matty. Matty Banters. We have a yellow flag. I believe that is just from the safety car restart. All drivers seem to still be in one piece. As we head down now, we've got any action down the field. It looks like Maudi is looking to possibly get a move done here on FXBR Enzo. I think he thinks better of it. He's not in the overtake mode. So he's going to follow behind 4 now as we see the top 6 are breaking away already, with Nuvolari struggling to keep up and the rest on medium tyres as well. Kyle is also looking very, very fast in these opening stages, Danny.
Yes, he was in P3 at one point, but not yet on me. They could move down the inside before the carnage happened.
Sorry. There's a bit of, side by side we got Enzo and Pogu. Pogu's...
As Matty gets a 3-second time penalty already.
Yeah, already. And Pogu's been passed by Enzo. Pogu seems to be struggling a lot, as Maudi now has him for company, down in P12. And Maudi has let BTX through there. So I'm not sure if he got an illegal overtake or something, but he let BTX back through down on the outside. So
interesting, and I'm not sure what happened there, but Maudi is saving his overtake. A lot of drivers.
BTX is on the back of Pogu, sorry. Down into turn 1, he's going to make the move stick around the outside a lot quicker than Pogu in these early stages. And Maudi's going to follow. He's out of speed.
He's in the wall.
And he is whacked the wall, and he is out on the racing line. And that is a massive crash for him. We've got a virtual safety car.
That was so close to some of them.
He was lucky not to collect everybody else pretty much coming down that straight, as he is out of
any
the
of the
session.
drivers.
Massive.
But it'd be a saving grace for some of these drivers, because some of these drivers are in the 30s on their ERS. They'd use a lot of ERS in that opening lap.
I think it's very, very easy this year to use your ERS. It's very easy to just click the button and either forget to turn it off,
Forget
or
about it.
just use it too much. As Matty has got a lot of time on Nagybot in this virtual safety car. Obviously, it hasn't ended yet. He did drop out of the 1 second window briefly, so we'll keep an eye on. Drive through penalty for TSR Danger Man. He's speeding up.
His stage just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, it's been a disastrous. I think he's had an incident down at the back of the field. He is on his own. It's not been a good start for him, as we see Surat making a move on Typhon. I'm not sure what's on there, Danny. They're very, very slow at the back of the field here.
Yeah.
They've been cut off completely from the rest of the pack, as Typhon now is going to make a move down the inside of FXBR Surat. Surratt outbrakes into turn 1. They've both outbroken each other, really. And Surratt is into the gravel. Tried to hang it around the outside, didn't quite pay off in the end.
Oh, it's not nearly had a moment there.
After Carl picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. This is the second driver to get one. As he goes wide, I think he's got connection issues as well, looks like Danny.
Yes, and he is using a lot of his overtake as well.
Yeah, and have a look at Nagybot. Yeah, he is about the same as Matty. He seems to be pulling away though. Matt doesn't quite have the race pace at the moment. So he's going to have to try and get back on it and see what he can do. But,
the good thing about having a VSC.
Side by side, and I think Callum and Nivellari have made a contact, and Callum has lost a bit of his end plate there. We saw some carbon fibre flying off in the background as Nivellari has made his move on Callum. So we've got another virtual safety car, and Callum Frampton's into the pit lane for a change in front wing. Kyle and Nagybot are also in the pit lane under this VSC, Danny. So this could be massive for their race if they're going on to hard
I think
tyres.
it's a good call to box now, just purely for the fact. Oh, I think Nagybot
had a drive-through.
Yeah,
Nagybot
perfect
had a
time
drive-through.
survey, I guess.
And Kyle has come out on a set of mediums, so I don't think he's going to take them to the end. It's an interesting call from those two. That is unfortunate.
I think he will be able to.
Nagybot. What, from lap 7?
Yes. So we've I've done a couple of Australia races, and the mediums they're on the limit, so you have to do tyre manage, but you can make it that far. You will be extremely compromised at the end, but if you can keep up the pace, then it is a good call.
Well, we'll have to see later on in the race then, see what he can do. If he doesn't get caught up in traffic as well, that may be an issue for him with hard runners just in front of him. But not Yao and Matty.
I think as well, it depends on
staying out.
Yeah, I think it depends on safety cars as well, because obviously you gain back a lot of tyre.
Oh, we've got a spinner.
From
we've got a spinner, and it's Holes. He's out of the session, and he has a span.
It's the
it could be a safety car. That
cane.
one on the racing line again. As we see Kyle making it past his teammate. He's made the move past Surratt. So that's one hard runner already down for him. We see Enzo sizing up a move on Davy. Will he go for the move down into turn 3? As Kyle's back into the pits, Danny. Kyle is back into the pits. I think he's got a drive-through penalty. He had a drive-through penalty under that VSC as well then. So there's a few that didn't quite pop up when it went green, but those two seem to have got it very, very wrong.
The problem is when you box at the moment, as soon as you come out in a negative delta. So literally, if the VSC is ending, you've literally got to slam your brakes on as soon as you get out of the pits. It's a weird glitch at the moment, where it seems that as soon as you get out of the pits, you're in negative delta, and obviously any time you're in negative delta, even by a 10th, you get a drive-through.
Maudi's
gone. Maudi gets.
Nagybot's gone very wide as well. He followed Maudi onto the grass, and he's lucky to have not spun into the wall there. It's well held from him. You see, Not Yao is in the pit lane, so we will go on board with him in the pit lane, and we'll see what tyres he's going to go on. I'd assume it'd be a set of mediums. No, it is a set of hards, so he's not confident on the medium tyres, so he goes on to a set of hards.
Enzo's going past Davy.
And now side by side, he's finally made the move, but Davy's back round the outside here. Down into turn 3, down the straight. Who's going to get the move? Who's going to break down the latest? Round the outside, they're neck and neck. It looks like Davy's got the inside line, and he's broken the latest, and he keeps the position from FXBR Enzo.
Good defending
so he is crucial for him, as Enzo is still on set softs, and they will be falling off a cliff very, very soon.
Matty now has a 3.3 second lead over Kevin, but obviously Not Yao's pit if he's come out in traffic.
Yeah. He may extend the stint for a bit if he's comfortable. As we see, not out yet. He is
I think-
behind FXBR Surat, so keep an eye on both that and Nivalaris. Notyal has made his move past Surat, so that was sooner than expected, but Surat may come back at him here. He's got the overtake button on. Don't think he's got enough pace on the straight to get past him, so Notyal is past Surat. Now he's got to go down the road. He's got a lot of clean air now, so he can just push. We see Matty into the pits. We'll see what tyre he goes on.
React to it.
And Nivalari as well. Kevin stays out.
It's a set of hards for Matty as well.
Yep, set hards. And Nivalari, we will keep an eye on. See what tyre he goes on. He goes into a set of hards. So a lot of drivers going for that the hards instead of mediums, where they're just more comfortable with that. But we see Surat coming just behind Notyal, and Matty has just got out ahead of Notyal. But Notyal's now going to look to make the move on the outside of turn 3. It's a favourite position for most of the drivers in this section as Notyal's off the track, and they're side by side. They've made contact.
Oh,
And Matty keeps the position. It was a bit clumsy from the two in the lead of the race, but Matty keeps the position. That was very touch and go for the Mercedes. He just
that was
about keeps
critical.
ahead. That was critical for him, but he's now going to have to keep him behind. As we see BTX looking to make a move on Davi. So we will run with that as he gets a penalty. FXVR Davi. These guys looking to go a little bit longer in this session. Possibly going on the softs at the end. But F&T Kevin, he will keep an eye on him, see if he boxes. He doesn't, he stays out. So he is comfortable at the moment. But he is being
I think
caught
he's
by
wanting to go on
GT
certain
Venom.
mediums.
Yeah, but he's getting caught at a rate of knots. Maudi is into the pits. So he boxes. He may go for, he should go for a set of mediums here. Everybody from this point should go for a set of mediums and
I think
make it
he's
to the end.
I think he's going on hards. It's a set of hards.
It is a set
I
of
mean-
hards.
As oh,
No, Surat's out of the race, Danny. He's retired on
happened
track.
there?
He's retired on track because his car's still moving. You'll see him, yep. On the right hand side at turn 2, the exit at turn 2. So I'm not sure what happened with him, but he has retired on track. And he is out of this race.
Not close to safety car yet, so
No. And yep, they've cleared the car, so no safety car or virtual safety car this time around. And
One
we'll watch the
critical
battle
thing, I
for
think-
P3.
sorry to interrupt you, but I think the one
sorry.
critical thing for Matty and Notyal now is they're going to be catching up
Oh,
to.
and sorry
um,
to interrupt you. BTX has had a massive spin on the curb, and he's smashed his front wing off, and that is his chances in this race pretty much gone. He's going to have to box for a set of hard tyres. It will have to be at this stage. Big mistake from him as he peels off into the pits. Big disappointment for him on his opening race and his debut in STB. Sorry, you can say what you were going to say now.
As soon as Matty and Notyal pass up to Travers, it's going to be critical to get past quickly, because if you get caught up on battle, it's very easy for the car behind to take an opportunity and possibly get past. But Notyal is in the 10% on his ERS, so he's using a lot of ERS to try and keep up.
75%, so he is looking good.
Yeah, I think ERS management is something that some of these drivers will work on throughout the season.
Well, I think Matt is just quicker at the moment because the amount that Notyal's used, and he's not even within the DRS range at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on Nivalari behind as well, see if he can pick up the pace. But he is dropping behind Notyal at the moment. They've all spaced out a bit now, Danny, after the opening carnage.
Yeah, I would expect Kevin is boxing this lap. I'd expect the racing point of Enzo is staying out for another lap.
So he wants those mediums as fresh as he can be at the end of the session. Kevin will come out a long way behind these two that we're watching now, as Matty is right on the back of Tavares. Obviously, Tavares still to pit. No, sorry, he did pit at the start of the race, but he will still need to pit by the end of the session.
As Kevin is now on mediums.
Danger Man's had a spin, sector 3. Not been a good start for him. But yeah, Matt's going to need to find his way around Tavares as soon as he can, and then he can try and drop the gap to Notyal yet again.
Once he gets past that Haas, he's got a lot of clear air to just focus and get consistent laps in. And obviously, when you're in that dirty air is a lot more this year. So it's about getting that. It just ruins your tyre wear. It just obviously everything starts to overheat, and it's a lot more realistic. So I think that's a good addition to have. It makes overtaking more difficult, and you don't just sit in a DRS train now. But it does when you're behind cars that obviously need to box. It's a bit frustrating, but I think Matty will have a good chance down into turn 1, or at least into turn 3.
Well,
as he goes a little wide there.
And Tavares at the moment, we see Enzo
finally
coming into the pits. He's just pushing the Haas around.
Tavares nearly qualified it.
Yeah, he should be an easy overtake for him. He's not gaining massively, but he will make the move down into turn 1 as Tavares gives him a bit of a squeeze just before the apex, but he makes the move stick down the inside, and Tavares hasn't got response on those old hard tyres. He's sort of running his own race at this stage. As we'll watch now, FNT Kevin's come out just behind his teammate. He's on his fresh set of mediums. He's going to need to get past Callum Frampton at this stage as Callum goes defensive. And Kevin still squeezes down the inside. There was a bit of a miscommunication between the two drivers as Callum goes wide and Kevin backs off. And Callum has kept the position.
I think Callum was a bit late on his defensive move there.
We've got a driver off. Sorry, Danny. BTX at turn 1. We'll watch Danger Man.
So he just ploughed.
Yeah,
he's retired on track.
Just gone off, I think, and then retired.
Yeah.
So not good for him. It was a very, very tough opening stint for him. Just saw Notyal go off the track, but it is just connection issues. As Kevin now is back on his teammate Callum Frampton. See if he can make the move now. Callum's got like no ERS left, so Kevin is going to try and make a move down the inside. Can he make it stick this time? He goes down the inside. The two of them give each other space, but these are just holding these two up.
Oh, Matty's had an issue.
Matt's had a spin, yeah. Matt is off, and he's had a spin. He's got no damage. So he is still going, as now we see GGT Venom finally coming into the pits. Should be for a set of mediums, and he's going to be challenging Matty at the end of this race. As we see Kevin now going for the move again on his teammate, and he's got the move done finally on his teammate Callum Frampton. And now he's going to be battling with Matty.
It's a big mistake by Matty, I'm afraid.
Well, he was in control, wasn't he? He had the pace, he had the gap, he had everything, but just didn't have the consistency. See Nagybot and Maudi going side by side, sorry, at turn 3. Nagybot gets the move done on Maudi.
It does mean that Notyal is our
his professional leader, yeah. As Maudi's looking to come back on Nagybot, sorry, I'm cutting you off again. These two having a bit of a ding-dong battle, so we'll keep an eye on that one. But Kevin now sizing up Matty as well. So he's going to be very much under pressure from the Ferrari.
Oh, he's gone a bit wide, but Kevin does have a good chance on those medium tyres.
Yeah. So we'll have to see GGT Venom. He came out on a set of hards, Danny. Venom's only just pitted and he's come out on hards.
He started on the mediums, didn't he?
I thought he was going to go to softs.
Maybe he just didn't feel like he could take.
Yeah. And Kevin's right on the back of Matty now, Danny. He may be looking for the move here into turn 3. We've seen many overtakes done in this Grand Prix already. He's a little bit too far behind. I don't think he'll go for the lunge. He won't. Matty has a massive lock. He's struggling.
Notyal and Navarala are battling now. Yes. So this is for the net race
Yeah,
lead.
this is for the race lead now. Nivellari's put himself in the mix out of nowhere. The delta on my screen's a little glitched, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one. As we see, Maudi's coming to the pits. Not sure if he had damage. But he's gone on a fresh set of mediums. They will take him to the end. I mean, Matty can still win this race. If he's got the pace, he can still win this race now.
Yeah, I think he's just got to make sure he keeps those tyres. He didn't spin up because obviously for the first couple of laps after that spin he would have had very hot tyres. But I think Notyao and the Alfa Romeo are battling. He's just
and you've
going to bring him back into it.
Frampton behind. He's going to the end. FXB or Enzo on a set of mediums. He's going to the end. So if they keep battling, it's going to be a 6-car train for the lead as Enzo's going down the inside at turn 1. Great move from the Brazilian. He's got the move done. He needs that.
Kevin's on Matty.
Well, as we flick back to Matt,
Around the
Enzo
outside.
now. Oh, they've made contact. And Kevin's in span. And Matty squeezed him twice. I don't think Kevin's happy with that. He seems to get away with damage, so they can both continue. That is not good for a pair of them, as they were looking to catch to the back of Nivellari, and that's given Enzo a chance as well to get in DRS now.
That was on the limit. That was on the limit, I think.
Crossed the line though. It did look very, very aggressive from Matty.
I was on board with Kevin.
Sorry, if you want to have a look.
I was on board with Kevin, and it seemed like Matty tried to give him the squeeze, and they bounced off each other, and it's hard to tell with like connections and stuff, but that was on the limit, I think. And I think
it may be one that goes to the stewards after the race, so they'll be having a look at that. But I think it would be harsh to give Matty a penalty, but it was definitely one that would be a warning for sure, I think.
Yeah, it definitely. I think that will be something that we'll be looking at in the stewards room. As Davi is still on those medium tyres, 17 laps. I think
he's going to the softs.
I'd expect him to,
but he's going to be a long, long way behind. He's dropping off the pace now. As we see, Notyao is closing up to FXBR Tavares as well. So 2 battles to keep an eye on here.
I think going on to the softs is a good idea though, because you will have that pace advantage, obviously lighter fuel loads, and going on to those soft tyres, it's a good pace advantage, but whether he can make up that time loss, that I don't know. It will have to be a super stint. But obviously
he's losing time just every lap, and the gap is going to be he's going to be about 15 seconds off of the net lead. That is a big ask in 10 laps.
As
we see Nivellari.
Is it going to be a move?
Switch back late. Notyao defends the inside. He's looking to make a move past Nivellari. He looks like the quicker out of the two. And we've also got Kevin and Enzo right on the back of Matty, pressuring him to get a move on. So these are really... This is going to be a massive battle at the end of the race, as Notyao already going defensive. He's pretty much run out of his ERS. Nivellari's used quite a lot as well. Is he going to go for a move down the inside? Thinks better of it. But can he make the move stick into turn 3? Is he going to go for it? As we see, Kevin's made a move on Matty, Danny. Kevin into turn 1 has got himself up into P5. And Matty's going to look to fight back. Can he make the move back on him? He's not close enough to make a move. And that is big for Kevin. Has he got the pace to catch back up to Nivellari?
One person I haven't thought about is Travis on the hard tyres. He could potentially go to the end.
It's definitely a question mark. He's not slow. He's keeping the gap to Notyao for now. Obviously, he is battling with Nivellari, as we see Enzo looking for a move down the inside to put Matty off. These three are very, very matched on pace right now. I think they're going to be going at it all race. Notyao is bringing Tavares in, but not really enough, as Callum Frampton's fallen off the back of these guys as well. But Matt is possibly looking to make a move back on Kevin. He doesn't look happy behind him.
Oh, as Davy is pitting this lap, I would assume...
Maudi's out of the race. Maudi is out of the race. He has retired on track. It's been a disastrous opening round for him as well. As we see Davi onto the soft tyres, as Enzo's pretty much swerving on the straight, telling Matty to get a move on. But he may possibly go for a move here if you want to go on board. No, he's a little bit too far behind. We're going to make a move on this occasion. And Davi is a long way back. Davi's a very long way back. I think he might have had a penalty.
11th place.
Yeah, I think he had a penalty to serve.
The thing is, he has got 9 laps to put in some super
just
laps
got to go
now,
for
I
it,
think.
hasn't he? He's just got to go for it.
But the thing is, there is a big train up to 8th place, and
yeah,
so
he should
there is
side his way
positions
through
to make.
that though. And then he's got a bit of clean air up to Southampton, so he's still on for a P7, I'd say at least. You see Kyle, he's made his move past Venom, and Nagybot has as well, as we see Not Yao. I think there's a timing glitch there, sorry. There was no battle going on. But Nagybot is right on the back of Kyle here, Danny. These two
and Matty are side by side.
They are, yeah. Oh, and they've hit each other.
Oh,
that's not good again from Matt. He squeezed him onto the apex. Again, I don't think Enzo's going to be happy with that one, but he can now line up a move on Matty as he's not got DRS on Kevin in front. As Kevin's really closed up to the back of Nivellari as well. And Enzo's running out of ERS here, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to go for the move.
Yeah, I think the drivers that have saved their ERS are going to be the ones in prime position. So you got Kevin and Matty that are both in the 60s, their ERS.
I think Kevin's the favourite for the race win at the moment. He definitely looks the quickest.
Not Yao is not really in P1 though. That
he's not. He's really
on 90.
struggling.
It's stuck
really
around about 1.3 It's a tough one. It's another 8
we've got
laps.
a virtual safety car. There is a Williams off, and that's Kyle. Kyle's out of the race. He's had an incident with, I believe, Davi or Venom. So he is out of this race. And now we only have 11 runners in this race.
So everyone but one person will be getting a point, it seems.
And Dangerman's got another drive-through penalty, speeding under VSC. And we have a full course yellow right now. So
I think that's just delayed from the VSC.
Yeah, it has gone green though, so they are racing again. And now Kevin is right on the back of Nivellari, and this train, as we said, has really compressed now, and they're all down the same straight. You can see all of the drivers, but we'll keep an eye on Enzo. Enzo's looking like the favourite to make a move here, as he's going to line Matty up into turn 3 yet again. He's got the overtake button on, DRS is open. Can he make a move down the inside? He's a little bit too far back on this occasion. He thinks better of it, as we see Danny is on the back of Venom as well. They're battling for P8.
Venom's gone wide.
Yeah, and Davi's made the move. So he's making his way
will
through.
Be next, and I think he'll be dispatched quite quickly. Oh, we've got a...
Yeah, another yellow flag, not sure what for.
Yeah.
But this train for the leads is getting very, very tasty.
Not Yell's dropped back a bit from the house.
Yeah, I think he's really struggling with the tyres at the moment.
Speaker, a 3-second time penalty.
Nivellari's going for the move. He is finally going for the move around the outside of Not Yao. It gives him a squeeze. The two make contact.
Oh, there's contact.
They're just hitting each other through. Oh, and he has made the move. Nivellari has made the move on Not Yao, and now Kevin's going to go around the outside. And they've made contact. Not Yao is not happy. And he has forced him off, and Nivellari is now in the driving seat for this race.
Not Yell's just out of deployment. He's driving me so slow. He's driving me so slow in a straight line where Kevin has got 84%.
He needs to start saving now, otherwise he's not going to make a push for this race victory. Now Kevin is really hustling him.
It's 1.8 seconds.
Yeah, Tavares, I think, is going to the end, Danny, and
if he can get a podium,
Yeah, we see Davi has made a move on Nagibot. They're side by side under the first sector, and he's gone completely over the sausage curb. And they've made contact, and there's been a spin. Nagibot is off. He rejoined
Has he hit the
on
wall?
the track. No, he's managed to keep it out. But that's pretty much over for him. He's now down in P10.
Oh, it's Noyal gets 3 seconds.
Yeah. And Kevin Spann, he's out of the race. Kevin Spann on the left-right chicane, and he's hit the wall, and his chances are over, Danny. That is him. That's it for him. He nearly collects his teammate in the process. It's Enzo now. Is just behind Notyal, and that is not good for Kevin. We were saying about how he is pretty much the one in the driving seat, the one that will possibly win this race. As we see Nuvolari, Danny, has really reeled in Tavares, and he is looking for this race victory now. Kevin comes into the pits, so he'll drop down to P10.
I guess the only consolation for Kevin is he can go for that fastest lap now and get 2 points. As Nagibot also pits, so it's P9 actually.
Okay, so
it's very close.
He can push, see what he can do, but I think it's going to be a struggle to gain any more places. We see Nuvolari's right on the back of Tavares now. I think he's struggling with those hard tyres. They're 22 laps old now. Whereas Nuvolari's 8 laps younger.
I think if he can get P2, even P3, it's been a superb race by him to
it's
manage
been a
those tyres.
Great drive from him.
And if he can defend this lead, even better. I mean,
it's going to be difficult.
Ferrari has got their ERS is.
Oh, there's a battle. Sorry, Enzo is looking to make a move past Notyal now, and he's got it done. And that's going to leave Matty now right on the back of Notyal. These three are literally pushing each other through the final sector. And Notyal, as we said, is really struggling with his ERS. He's looking to come back on Enzo, but I just don't think he's got enough. And he's not got his DRS flop open there. I don't know if you saw that.
I'm on board with Matty, and
Is he? No, he's
he's out. He's just got 1%. Oh!
Yeah, there's a bit of a connection issue on his end, I think.
Yeah, I thought I just thought he had not brakes then. I thought he's just full on going into the back of him.
What, like full on Dan Tickton.
Yeah.
Oh, Tavares has gone wide. Tavares has gone wide, and Nuvolari's. This is his best opportunity of the race. He is right on the back of him. Is he going to make a move? As Tavares is. Oh, he's giving him a squeeze, but Nuvolari's found his way on the inside line. Can he make it stick around the outside? He has got it on the inside now, and he's got the position. He's into the race lead. Great move from him. Tavares really struggling on those tyres. I think he'll be lucky to try and keep P2 or even the podium in this race.
One thing that may decide this race is penalties.
Yeah.
The Alfa Romeo of Nuvolari has got 3 penalties, so
we'll leave the rest to see at the end. We'll see what the finishing order is, but this is shaping up to be a good battle on the last 4 laps of this race. As we see Enzo looking to make a move past Tavares now, who's really struggling. And he hasn't got the ERS to try and make it into turn 3. Or has he? He's gone for a late lunge.
Yo.
And he's through. I think Tavares let him through there. I think Tavares let him through on the inside so that he can go and chase Nuvolari. And sorry, Matty's gone past Notyal.
I think there was a bit of I don't know. I think there was a bit of team play going on there.
It looks like Tavares just gave him the position. Interesting from those two, but Tavares is on very old tyres, so
as Matty is nearly within DRS, could Matty get a podium still?
Well, it's all going to be decided on penalties at this stage. They are very close together. We'll see if they can catch back up to Nuvolari. He has pulled out a gap, so he's looking at the quickest out of all of them, but obviously Enzo has got the freshest tyres and the softer compound. So if he's got the pace, there is an opportunity for him in these final stages.
It's a shame that penalties would have to decide a race, but I think
But it's just
But-
it's one of those things in this game.
it's the aim of the game, I guess. It's the person with the least penalties. So it's about going quickly within the limits of the track, and obviously
Matty's
some
going for the
drivers
overtake
have
here.
not done that.
He's in overtake. And he's
Will
right
he
in
go
the
down
slipstream
the
and he dives
inside?
straight down the inside. Matty up the inside. Great move from him. Can he make it stick though? Tavares is going to fight back. And he gives him a squeeze, but he gives him the room. That's a good move from Matty Banter. That is necessary for his race. He needs to get a move on now and see what he can do in the final few laps. As Notyal is just fallen off a cliff now, and Tavares has gone wide. And that will give Notyal a chance his next few laps.
I think his tyres are done.
They are.
His tyre.
He is falling back and back and back and back. He did such a good job. But in the end, it was just a few laps too many on those hard tyres. It'll be interesting to see if he even gets a puncture here, Danny. The amount that he's struggling.
Yeah.
But you never
The
know,
thing
he,
is, at this
he
point,
could
there's
still
no-
be on for the race victory. We're not going to look at the penalties. So it's really one that we don't know how it's going to end. As Notyal maybe looking to make a move. He is pushing Tavares through the final sector.
He's struggling. He's just struggling all the time,
Shoved
locking
his
the
nose on the inside. Tavares has got a very tight line, and that's going to give Notyal a very good chance to overtake. And I think he's got a DRS failure, Danny.
His
What
DRS
else?
is open for me, not Yale.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's just a connection issue because
Yeah,
his
possibly.
connection is quite poor.
But yeah. Oh no, he's got
but-
it open on my screen now. I think it's just a bit glitchy, but he has made a move.
Enzo's-
Tavares. Yeah, Enzo is reeling
Enzo's-
in Nuvolari, but is there enough time left in this race, Danny? Lap and a half to go.
And he has used a lot of his ERS.
And it has Nuvolari's lost a lot as well, though, so they are pretty much equal. He's in DRS range. This is going to be a final lap battle.
It's just making sure you're in ERS at them critical points.
And he's just
Which
out the
he's
window
just
now.
outside.
Yeah. Obviously, the detection point he's already gone past, so I think he's missed out on DRS. He has.
Yeah, he's out of deployment as well.
back
He's
in now.
9/10, so
He's got to just try and save a bit on this final sector and just push on the last
he's
lap.
just dropped out. He dropped out just at the line
Yeah.
there.
Will he get it?
So I don't know whether you.
Yeah, we'll have to see. But Matty looks to be
No,
out
he's
of
not.
it. He's down in P3. He hasn't got DRS, and that is crucial. I think that is the main chance he had of getting close to him and possibly going for a move down into possibly turn 8, turn 9. Don't think he's going to catch the back of him here, Danny.
No. Yeah,
little
the
bit
gap's
too
too
much.
much, but I think unless Enzo has a major attack,
Yeah, he is now within the DRS range, but he's got no ERS.
and
Nivolari's
there's
still
only
got a
one
little bit to
DRS.
spare. He's using it down on this bit. He needs to save it down here, and yeah, his last overtaking spot is coming up. These next few corners.
Unfortunately, I think he's too far back, and obviously
He's gonna
Nivolari
get. He's out of
is
DRS
using-
again, I think, Danny, by about 12 thousandths of a second. No, he has got it. He has got it. He just about got it, but he's not opening his DRS flap on my screen.
No,
And
he's
that
out
is
of
pretty much
deployment as well.
that is his last opportunity, I think. So
I guess it's down to penalties.
it will
Let's
be.
see what happens.
But we will go on board with Nuvolari. It's been a very good race from him. Great strategy start to finish. And he comes around the final corner and he's at a speed!
Oh!
He's at a speed, he's off! And that gives Enzo the provisional win, and he crosses the line and he wins! Enzo wins the Grand Prix. Matty has jumped back
my
up to second
God.
place. Nuvolari will finish on the podium. Yeah, he will finish on the podium. And Callum Frampton out of nowhere gets P4. And no, it says Notyal's now P4. Is Notyal P4 on your screen?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
P4 for me.
So it's Notyal P4. Callum Frampton's jumped up to P5. Good race from him. Tavares made a very awkward strategy. The best he could. He is finishing in P6. FXBR Davi. Disappointing from him, but he will finish in P7. GGT Venom as well, caught up in an incident. He's P8. FNT Kevin as well, very disappointing, down in P9. And Nagybot as well, caught up in an incident. He will be your final point scorer, but that was a interesting end, Danny. And
Yeah,
it cost Nuvolari P2. So
yeah, it did, because what the gap?
4 attempts to make.
The gap was, yeah.
So
Yeah.
wow. He'll be kicking himself over that. He had 1 corner to go through.
Yeah, Nagybot in P10 there. Getting fastest lap. It won't show as fastest lap because it shows Maudi with a 29-second lap. But the point will be going to Nagybot. So 2 points for a disappointing race, but at least he's got those points on the board, I guess.
It said FXBR Davi. The game gave it to FXBR Davi. But who was your driver of the day?
Until the last couple of laps, it was the Haas of Tavares, just for that tyre management. But it just fell off a bit at the end. But I think, yeah, I would have gave it to him if it wasn't for the last couple of laps. But
well, I still think he made a very good awkward strategy work for the best that he could. But obviously, you know, I think it's disappointing for him going from P1 all the way down to P6. My driver of the day, I think, would go to Tavares still. But here is your grid for the Tier 2 race. So it is FXBR Enzo who takes the first victory of the season. Matti Banta in P2, very disappointing from him. He was on for the victory. ESP Nuvolari as well. Last corner cost him P2, but he'll be happy with the podium. Not Yao, difficult race for him, but he's in P4. Callum Frampton, good race for him in P5, as well as FXBR Tavares in P6. FXBR Davi as well, down in P7. GGT Venom in P8. FNT Kevin 9th, and Nagybot takes the final points in P10. Did you want to invite the podium sitters, Danny?
I can do, for sure.
So we're just getting everybody in the party for the race interviews. Danny, did you want to do the interviews tonight?
We can do it together if you want. I don't mind. I do not mind.
But if you do the interviews, I just need to sort something out very, very quickly. I think it's just Matty at the moment.
Okay. Well, we'll just wait for everyone to get into the party and then. A very entertaining race for the first Tier 2 race in STB. How did you find that, Mercury? Was it what you expected? I think Mercury has just gone off. Sort something out, so we'll wait for everyone to get back. While you're here, Matty, how did you find that race?
Very frustrating, to be honest. I felt like I should have really won that. I should have won that race. Yeah, I had a spin coming out of the third DRS straight at the right-hander. Luckily, I didn't get any damage from that, but that cost me the race, and everything else just made the race so much harder to battle back through the field. I mean, I'll take second place after that spin, but I just had to push so hard just to gain all this, to try and get as much positions back. I mean, I'm happy with the recovery, but I'm really disappointed that that simple mistake just ruined the whole race win for me.
Was it just dropping it on the curb, or just putting too much power down, or what was it that?
It was a bit of both, to be honest. That curb can be quite awkward. You have to put either wheel on both sides of the curb, but I just went a bit too wide, and I just inside wheels hit the curb as well, and that was enough, plus an extra bit of power, and that was enough just to make me send off. So it was a bit of both, to be honest. So it was a bit of a hard-hearted. It's a bit of both, yeah.
P2 is a good recovery, and I thought your drive was obviously it was very good up until that point. I thought you controlled your pace, and yeah, it was a good drive, and it's just unfortunate that these mistakes do happen, and
yeah.
Unfortunately, it only in the end potentially cost you one position, but it's the most important position, which is the win.
Yeah.
But obviously, plenty of races to go to get that race winner for you. So, but congratulations on P2.
Thanks.
I will ask one thing. The battle with Kevin, I believe it was. So it was very touch and go. The side-by-side moment you had. Any comments on that? Or
Well, we did have a few side-by-side moments. I mean, at that point, I was a bit frustrated after the spin, and especially him after pitting later for the mediums, which was a very risky move because those doing that soft to medium strategy can be quite risky because you're pushing those tyres to the very edge. But I was just pushing really hard trying to defend, but after the point, I just let him go at certain points where it's just no point battling because it's going to lose so much time. And obviously, I lost positions to Enzo as well.
I do apologise, I am back.
It was. That's alright. We've still only got Matty in the party.
Yeah, I think he'll probably be the only one tonight.
Oh yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
The other two are not native English speakers, so probably. But how did you find that race, Mercury?
I think it was a good opening round. There was action up and down the field, a fair few incidents, sure to be looked at. But yeah, I think it was a good opening round.
Yeah, I'd agree on that. I mean, for the first tier 2 race in STB, it was a good show, and the only thing that maybe could have spiced up a bit more was a bit of weather like we had in tier 1, but for a first dry race, it was good. It's just a shame that we had so little finishes. I guess that's the only disappointing thing.
Well, they will be back at it again next week, same time on Tuesday night, but we do have our tier 1 race next Monday from 7:15. So for all of you that tune in tonight, thank you very much. As I said, we'll be back on Monday night for the tier 1 race back in Bahrain. But that wraps up our tier 2 race for tonight. Bit of a messy one, but Enzo took the victory in the end in the opening round. Can he do it again next week? We'll find out.